What's up, everybody? This is Jose from Southern Life.
And Katie.
And we are about to explore Anniston, Alabama. We've never been here before. And we've heard some horrible things about this place, but we're not going to judge the place based on what we've heard. We're going to give this place a fair shot. We're in Oxford right now, but we're about to hop into Anniston. And we're going to see if this city is really as bad as they say it is. This city has been rated online as the most dangerous city in the country consistently by a few people. But we don't judge places based off of that. We've learned that in the past, a lot of times places can be rated horribly, and they can actually be pretty good. Now, this right here is a Hardee's, and it's kind of closed. This city has some of the worst. Also considered one of the fastest shrinking cities in the city, especially for being in the South. Usually in the South. I washed my car completely for you guys, and it still looks like my windshield's dirty. I don't know what I can do, but I swear to you guys, I spent the whole day cleaning the car yesterday, and I think the chemical that I used to clean the windows probably made it worse. But as you can see, dilapidated, whatever the crap, you get what I'm saying. Buildings, businesses, Hardee's closed over there. Now there is a Starbucks by the highway. That was interesting. And there is a lot. If you look at the vehicles, there's a lot of work vehicles and all. Oh, they might have wheels here.
They got a Red Lobster.
Oh, but it's too late to do that. Oh, we're not even. Oh, state trooper. Oh, I'm not speeding, am I?
No.
The view in the other direction is beautiful. So now we're in Anniston city limits, and
I find it pretty.
this city, we're gonna give it a fair shot. We're not going to just based off of okay, my car's not really worried about the trooper. Just because it's get rated badly and all that, we're not gonna automatically think it's a horrible place. We're gonna explore it and give you guys our opinion based off of what we feel, not so much of what other people have said about the place. And that's kind of what makes our channel different. But at the same time, if there's some horrible things that I see, I'm not going to be shy to point them out either. So, I mean, you don't get a pass just because, you know, it's neither one way or the other. I like the mountain views in all directions. That's really cool. You got the Talladega, it's just to the south of the city. And another thing that, you know, people don't understand about Alabama is when they do these crime reports, you know, we've gone over this a lot on our channel, but I'm going to mention it one more time, especially if there's anybody that's watching our videos for the first time. Like you live here in Anniston, this shows up on your feed now because you live here. So far, I like that there's cars everywhere, like construction type cars, and I see pickup trucks being sold left and right. It seems very redneck. Like you see the cars with like wheels and stuff. I like it. It's got a very redneck feel to it. This region of Alabama is known for being the most redneck region, which I like that. You know, like people with the heavy southern drawl, which if you're outside of Alabama, it's actually considered an accent. But here in Alabama, they call it a drawl, not an accent. Look at that Jeep. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot. You see cars like that. You see the people carrying ATVs and stuff.
They got a dirt cheap here.
Yeah, they got a Red Lobster over there. I see when we came in. Dollar General. That's a nice Dollar General. So we're gonna give it a city dirt cheap. What is that?
It's a store.
We've seen those somewhere else, didn't we?
Yeah, we saw
Talladega?
Atlanta, Talladega.
I can't remember where.
We've been seeing them around.
I can't remember where I've seen it. The Hummers at the dealership.
Oh, my.
But see, look at all the work vehicles. You see all the work vehicles everywhere? That's not a bad thing. You see all these work vehicles everywhere? Look at the vehicles on the road. There's work in this area. Look at this barbecue place. Hot dogs. So, if you've ever noticed on my Alabama videos, before you get to city limits, you get to police jurisdiction. And that means that the local police, like here in Anniston, they don't just patrol Anniston. The police here, they patrol, like there's mountains and stuff that are within the city limits, like the whole outskirts of the city. And it's a massive area. Are those projects back in there? No. So they patrol a massive area.
Go down there.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's get to downtown first.
Yeah.
Well, they patrol a massive area, and the statistics for Anniston crime are not just for city limits. They're actually for like a vast area. All these mountainsides are within city limits, and then there's like even more. So the crime statistics for the city do not reflect city limits. They actually reflect the whole region. So that can kind of distort crime statistics to where it makes it look like it's actually worse than it is. And that happens in all Alabama cities. Like, I want to move to Alexander City. Alex City is near Lake Jordan, not Lake Jordan, Lake Martin. And it's a place that I was looking at and I wanted to move to. Well, when I was looking at crime statistics, the crime statistics for Alexander City are through the roof. It's just insane. Turns out that those crime statistics reflect like a vast area of police jurisdiction. So that, plus you also have like 10,000 people that are there because they have houses on Lake Martin, and they're seasonal, they're not there year round. So there's a lot of things that can distort crime rates in Alabama. With the whole police jurisdiction being bigger than the city limits, the crime rates are always going to statistically be higher than anywhere else because of that. And when they do these calculations, they don't really take the time to see that distinction, but that affects crime rates a lot. The city has lost something like 10,000 people since the 1970s. The city's had nothing but a decline, so the shell of the city is actually bigger than the population that's here. It's got a lot of life in it. I see, and I like that there's work cars running around. Like, everywhere you look, there's work cars and trucks with big wheels and stuff. I like seeing all this activity, movement. Money's moving. It's not completely dead. So I think for a city of 20,000 people, it's gonna definitely feel a little bit bigger than that. I mean, for one, the shell of the city was a bigger city at one time, population-wise, and you can't deny the fact that the population's been shrinking. But even that, we'll see what the residential neighborhoods look like. But like even in Montgomery, where we live, the population's shrinking in Montgomery, but then they're building houses all over the suburbs. So sometimes people leave the city limits. You have to look at all that. Like, you have to see the. Oh, I love that redneck. He's got the rebel flag on it. He's got the like redneck look on that truck. He's got the rebel flag on it. Like I said, there is very redneck. I love the C10s. That's the one thing I love about Alabama. Everywhere you look, there's like old school Chevys, old C10 trucks, like every like cool American muscle car, old trucks, all that crap everywhere. But we're gonna hop into some residential neighborhoods too and kind of feel that out. Pick and save. You know, in Kentucky we had a pick pack. Pick pack. You pick pack. I've never seen a pick pack anywhere outside of Kentucky. I think that's just a local thing there. Anniston is also between Birmingham and Atlanta. It's not a bad location to have between two very large cities. We've kind of already passed downtown, so we're going to swing back around into a residential, not residential, but like towards the downtown. They got two jacks. There's a lot of life here. What do you think, babe?
Yeah.
It's definitely got a lot of life. I haven't seen it, at least on this main strip, I haven't seen anything trashy or that would indicate. And again, there's years where this city has been the most dangerous city in the country by crime statistics. Which again, that's kind of debatable. But there was one thing that's not debatable. Is the murder rate. How many people getting whacked out here? Some years, it's been almost 60 out of 100,000, which is insane. That's about 10 times the national average. That's definitely not normal, and there's definitely another graffitied out building over there. There's definitely no explanation for that. Because you can argue that, oh, you know, crime statistics and city limits and this and that, but you know what you can't argue with is the fact that if you have a high murder rate, that's not something you can make up. That's a number where 14 people being killed in 2006, I think it was, bringing the rate to something like 60 almost per 100,000. That's insanely high. That's actually as high.
Turn right onto East 15th Street.
That would make the city comparable to a place like Culiacan, Mexico, just so you have an idea. And by the way, that's the seat of the Sinaloa cartel. That's how dangerous this city is. There's years where it's as dangerous to be here as it is to be in Culiacan, Mexico. That just blows our mind. Culiacan, Mexico, if you're not familiar, it's a city in Sinaloa where the Sinaloa cartel is from, the cartel that El Chapo Guzman ran. So that gives you an idea of how dangerous this city has been, not from a crime aspect, but from a murder rate aspect, where you're as likely to get whacked here as you are in Culiacan, Sinaloa. That, my friend, is terrifying crap. So, and that is undisputable. I mean, that's not a statistic you can maneuver. That's not a statistic you can fake. Usually, the murder rate in the United States is about 6 or 7 or 5.
Head west on East 16th Street toward Noble Street.
Somewhere between 5 to 7 per 100,000
Turn left onto Noble Street.
is about normal. That means if you live in a town of 20,000 people, 1 per year is about average, where it should be.
Continue on Noble Street for half a mile.
And then again, that's in the United States, which has a comparably high. Like in Europe, I think it's 1 per 100,000. So in Europe, a town of 20,000 people would have a murder every 5 years. But here, 14 murders a year. That's insane for a town this small. So that's not a statistic we can discuss. There's no wiggle room there. It's not like with the crime where, crime rates, you can say the police jurisdiction, this and that. But there's some statistics. It's just undeniable. I can't deny my crime for you. I can't deny. But the city does seem like it's got life. So that's a negative stuff. It's hard for, city leaders, for example, or anybody trying to invest in this place to look past that. Love this little. This is their downtown. And it seems like kind of has a Chicago feel to it. You know what I mean? Like, it's got a very Chicago, kind of reminds me of Chicago. It's a big downtown for a city of 20,000 people today. A lot of boarded up businesses, though. And you can't even blame it. I mean, if there's only 21,000 people here, for 21,000 people to have a downtown this big, it's almost like how they even, you know what I mean? Like,
In 800 feet,
go figure.
turn
Millbrook
right
has got
onto
17,000
West
people. Imagine if Millbrook had this much of a downtown. It couldn't keep up with it. Like, that's serious right there. Like 4 cameras and the light flashing. Let me park here for a second. So, it's got a big city feel, even though there's only 20,000 people here. So that's a very interesting little thing to note, that there's only 20,000 people here. Imagine Millbrook is like almost 18,000 people in Millbrook. So this town is just a little bit bigger than Millbrook, and look at the downtown they gotta deal with. So I'm not surprised it's a lot of vacant stuff.
Turn right
Lots
onto
of
West 10th
vacancy.
Street. Then your destination will be on the right.
It's got like a Chicago feel to it. It's a very impressive for a town this big. We're also going to hit up the residential neighborhoods, and I suspect that that's where most of the activity is going to be found. I don't mind. So far, I'm not I don't have any like bad vibes about the place yet.
No.
I actually like it. I mean, for a town this small to have this much of a structural backbone for,
It does seem like it has life toward here.
Yeah, it does seem like there's life, that's for sure. Let's run back over to the residential neighborhoods on the north side, which from what I could tell seemed pretty rough. And you can see mountains in the distance. So it's a plus. Is that a hospital? What is that thing? No? Something else? Lots of mirrors. Oh, I love that bus right there. This is a one-way. Let's take it. Let's take the back alley here. We're going to the residential neighborhoods. That's where most of the activity is usually going to be at. Is that a barbecue place? No,
Thai.
restaurant. Thai. Oh, they had a Thai restaurant. Population here is about 50-50 on the racial side. 3% Latino. Coach's Jewelers. Yeah, a jewelry store. I don't know. I don't see like horrendous. It's not too bad. It doesn't look horrible. Where the hood at? Western Auto. I like the name of that store, Western Auto. I bet the antique stores here might have good prices. I mean, if there's this much vacancy, they can store a lot of crap like these, furniture stores. Dude, I like it. I like it. People always bother me when I'm busy. Oh, yeah, man. He's got tape. 2 Marketplace. Remember when Tomka, would you take 150 cash? Yep. For sure. Use yours, buddy. Somebody else wants it too.
What is it?
Some stuff I got for sale. Oh, I got 2 things that I can sell tonight. Driving now. Just tell them driving now. Not bad. What do you think? I like it. Can't believe how big the. Oh, I hit this camera here. Let's move that. Can't believe how big the downtown is for a town this small. I still can't get over how big this downtown is. Just like this city was like massive in its day. Another thing too is that you got mountains all the way around the city, and with that, having mountains all the way around the city. A lot of times, like other towns that I've noticed, like in Tennessee and West Virginia and Alabama, is you have these towns and like there's nothing to do in those surrounding areas. So a lot of people from the surrounding area come into town, and then that kind of raises the crime rate too. But anyways, to get off of that, when a city has a reputation, like this city has a reputation of making the most depressing cities, the fastest drinking cities, the most dangerous cities, it's constantly back-to-back labeled in those ways. It's hard for the city to get involvement from business and investment. And even those businesses we saw were by the highway, JCPenney, Starbucks, blah, blah, blah. They're by the highway. They're not deep into the city. They're actually just by the highway, and they're in Oxford. So it's just an ugly scenario where now, once you get so much bad publicity, it's almost hard to find a turning point between the bad publicity your town's been getting and positive change, because things are either going in the right way or they're going in the wrong way. It's hard to find a middle ground. Now we're gonna switch back over here into some residential neighborhoods and start seeing what the neighborhood looks like. Because we don't just want to show downtown. We try to dig a little bit deeper on these videos. But if you live here in Anniston, I love the wheels on this truck. Yeah, buddy. If you live here in Anniston, I want to hear your opinion. What do you think about the situation? I also want to raise awareness to people outside of this area. If you live in a nice place, a suburb like I do, whatever, just know that people that live in these places, they face, once a place gets labeled as the worst, that's a hard label to knock. Businesses don't invest in your community, and most people aren't going to put their money in a place that's declining, and that's a very, very difficult situation to be in for a town, because like I said, the money, nobody invests into it. All the businesses shy away from it, investment wise. It takes a bold individual to say, okay, I'm going to put my money into this community. Or even the state. Alabama was supposedly the worst rated state. I moved to Alabama, the worst rated state in the country, supposedly, and my business has done great. I mean, right now I got, as you guys can see, I got 2 different things going on Messenger. I got one thing for $200, one thing for $150. That's
$400.
know how to count. Student parking and smoking area. That's a good cover photo right there. I'm sorry, do you see that, son?
Yeah.
Student parking and smoking area. See, it's like totally dilapidated. What's the right word I'm looking for? Help me out, Katie.
Oh, don't ask me to say that. Dilapidated. I'm probably saying it wrong.
You're probably saying it wrong.
Dilapidated.
Dilapidated.
It sounds wrong.
So there's a smoking area for students.
I didn't see.
I
It
don't know
could be
what-
like a
I mean, I don't know where
college
we.
or
I
something.
don't know where we are. I'm just.
Or like a
driving.
trade school.
We're in an abandoned building. There's cars here though. I don't know. We're just exploring. Like, I don't know what we're gonna run into. here.
Handicapped.
Dude, this is like scary. Look how like torched that building is. This is like done. It's seen better days. I knew this would be a really fun state to explore.
Yeah.
Am I going the wrong way? Ooh, he's got wheels on that Yukon right there. Love that. He's got the toe mirrors on it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like an old church, right? Oh, it was an old church. But now it's some type of school or something. Dude.
It's not. It doesn't look like it's anything right now.
No, there's a car parked there.
Mm-hmm.
But I love these old abandoned buildings. I'm taking some photos. So anyways, I got two things going on like right now. Like, oh, it's a worst rated state. And blah, blah, blah. I got two things going on. There's usually like, you'll find... Oh, I'm rubbing that tire. You'll find little clues in little places like this. But anyways, I got two things going on right now. I got two things for sale. Like if I was in my hometown right now,
You'd have nothing.
I'd got two people. I got two people that are trying to buy things from me right now. So if I was back in Alabama where I'm at, I'd have two people right now wanting to buy things off me. Right now, I got two people. If I was in Millbrook today, or the city I live in Alabama, I got two people messaging me right now for trying to buy things I got. $400 or $350, whatever, $300, whatever. And these are items that I got laying around the house. This isn't like I'm working for it. You know what I mean? It's like if I was in Millbrook today, I make $300 cash. And this is the worst rated state ever. Bro, when I lived in Florida, to make $300, I'd have to work all week. You know what I mean? Exploit it too. So there it is, man. Like people trying to buy stuff off me. So call me later. I will. So I got two things going on right now. You know, I make my money easy. It's supposed to be the worst rated state. You moved to Alabama, you're gonna starve. Bro, I moved to Alabama, I'm doing great. You know what I mean? I'm not doing bad at all. But technically, this was the worst state I could have moved to. But in reality, I got two people texting me right now to buy stuff off me. Cash money. You know what I mean? So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Like, yeah, buddy. I don't know what that's about. A fist up in the air. That usually means... that's an odd thing. I never had somebody do that to me. A fist. I know what it means, but I'm not gonna say it in the video. But not sure if that's a positive thing for us to get or a negative thing. Another thing is hard to tell when you drive to these towns is like, let's say like we go into Ocala, right? It's a poor neighborhood, kind of like this, but everybody waves at you and says hello. What statistic is gonna like? What a statistic is there for like right now? People could give us dirty, nasty looks, or they could be friendly and wave at us or whatever. You know what I mean? So, what statistic is there? Look at the bullet holes, Katie. Wow. Those are bullet holes. That means that down this street, bullets have been flying. See, I nodded at him, he nodded back. You know what I mean? Those are bullet holes. That's not cool. You can see this building here, the front of it, covered in bullet holes. I mean, this right here is a shooting alley right there. Back and forth, people just busting back and forth. That's crazy. So definitely, that's like the type of thing where, you know, if you're trying to say your town's good, it's hard to it's hard when you see a building covered in bullet holes, to kind of, you know, it's pretty obvious of what's going on that street right there. But anyways, like, there's places we go to where you, like, I nodded my head at that driver, he nodded back. You know, like where people have small town, everybody waves at, he waved, right?
Yeah.
So like, there's places where people either wave at you or they don't wave at you. You know what I mean? Like, you can drive through, this person waved too, they all wave at you. You know what I mean? Like, that's a cool thing. That makes living in a place that's like this bearable. If people at least have the decency to wave at you.
Oh, wow.
Kind of like Detroit right here. Those pigeons?
Yeah.
Are they racing pigeons?
Yeah.
Or are they not racing
They're
pigeons?
homers.
Are they homers? No, those are scrubs. Are they homers or scrubs?
They're homers.
Cool. This is like some Detroit looking stuff right here.
Oh my god.
Can't do this right now.
Little pigeons.
I'm doing my videos. This looks like Detroit right here. Are they racers?
They're homers.
No, they're. I think they're scrubs.
They're homers.
So this looks like Detroit out here, man. This is just run down. Beware of dog. So yeah, this definitely is run down out here. It's a little bit rougher out here. No, those are scrubs. Those weren't razors. No bars on the window.
Still a pigeon. I like pigeon.
I like pigeons. There's nothing fancy about scrubs though.
Yeah.
It's not as run down as I thought. Like there would be more run down. Also, the real estate prices here were like so cheap. Like there's real estate prices here that were just like really, really low. But what statistic is there for like kind people? You know what I mean? Like there's places you go to where people, like, not only is it a poor kind of bad area, but then you also got like some people that, you know, are rude, disrespectful, you know what I mean? It's just bad. And that just makes living in a place like this even more unbearable. Where if people are friendly, they wave at you, they hold a door open for you, that makes a huge difference as far as livability of a place, you know. Now today, what is that, Tuesday? And there's like big crowds, there's a big meeting spot right there.
Yeah.
Well, today's a Tuesday, right?
Yeah, Tuesday, about 5 o'clock.
Gotcha. So Tuesday on 5 o'clock, there's hangout spots. Imagine this place on a Friday night on the 1st of the month. So lots of environment, that's for sure. This house is pretty. Look at that one.
Yeah.
You want a roof on it? You want a roof? Yeah, this city's got. You can definitely tell there's crime here though. And there's hangout spots on a weekday. Imagine coming up here like on a Friday night. But you know, that makes things a little bit more bearable when you're in a city where people are friendly, they wave at you or something. You know what I mean? Like where, you know, to live in a place where you have the crime, you have a lot, but then people on top of that are rude and they cut you off in traffic and, you know, they're road raging you and all that, just makes it like a bad package even worse. That's why you gotta have hands-on experience for a place. Another thing we can never predict is the reception we will have when we go to these places. Sometimes we go to and they love, like, yo, you came to our city, next time go to this neighborhood, you know? Well, you didn't even go to the hood's over here, next time you come, go to our hood, you know? Or next time you come, stop by this hood and say what's up, you know? But then other cities we go to and then they start hating on us and they call us, you know, they say we're racist and we're showing the bad side of their city, and, you know, they get on all this stupid crap. So we never know if the city we're going to when we do our videos is going to give us a good reception or a bad reception. That's just what the people that live in that city, you know, think about what we're doing. And again, that's usually totally, let me go this way actually, usually totally out of our control. Let me go this way. But you know, Alabama supposedly worst rated, blah blah blah. And here we got voicemails, messages for people buying stuff. You know, we're doing all right. We're living. I say we're living a whole lot better than we ever did.
Yeah.
When we lived in Florida, just know that how much we used to travel when we were in Florida, and how much we travel now. That lets you know how much better we're doing when we're actually able to get out and travel more. means we have more free time, more money to fill up the gas tank and do these trips. So you can say what you want. Sometimes moving to a place that's affordable gives you a lot more freedoms. This is just run down up in here. Run down. Run down. This is probably the cheapest place to buy a house in the country also.
Yeah.
That'll be a good clickbait title. The cheapest city to buy a house in the United States.
Yeah.
It is cheap to buy a house here. Neighborhood City Watch.
Everything in life is a trade-off.
Yep. With affordability comes a huge trade-off. Everything is a trade-off. There's no doubt about that. Sometimes when you go for affordability, you get a bunch of other things too.
And if you have a family and you're living in an expensive area and you move to a more affordable area, you might be able to spend more time with your family.
Gotcha.
Which might be a good trade-off for you.
Let me call this person back. Guys, I gotta make a phone call real quick. Hey, I just got that photo you sent me for the stuff you need hauled away. I know, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was kind of driving. I didn't want to answer the phone, but I'm sorry about that. You're in Prattville? Oh, so it's got to be done by hand. Gotcha. How far is it from where it's at to where I can actually like load it? Okay, I'll look at the photos carefully and I'll give you an estimate, and I could probably do it as early as tomorrow if you like the estimate. Today's definitely not a possibility. It's too late in the day, but I can do it as early as tomorrow. Will tomorrow work for you? All right, let me look at it and I'll send you a quote in a little bit. All right, thank you, sir. These are not the type of jobs she's talking about, wheelbarrows. Oh no! This is not the type of job I want to do. And it's not like I can even take this to the landfill. I'm gonna go with. I can't even tell. I'm gonna say.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say 400. That looks like a lot. That's kind of high. That's a really high quote, but I don't want to do that job. That's a lot of work, especially with a wheelbarrow. And that's the type of job you start doing it now, and you don't know when you're gonna finish. It could be an hour job, or it could be a 4 or 5 or 6 hour job. You just don't know. You start digging this stuff, you just don't know what you're gonna get. You know. Let's see here. So now we're kind of north of the city. Man. Hey sir, how you doing? Good, buddy. Yeah, so you live in Tallahassee?
Yeah, I live in Tallahassee.
Man, I'm actually not in the area right now. I'm actually in I'm over here by Anniston. So I'm not gonna be back today. But if you're in Tallahassee, I could next time I drive through there, I could drop it off or meet you somewhere or something.
Okay. Do you live here in Wetumpka?
I live in Millbrook, so I'm about 15 minutes out. Yeah.
When will you be back?
I'll be back tonight, later on, really, probably 9:30, 10, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be late.
Oh, yeah, it's not really late for me, but I understand.
You gonna be around till later, no?
I tell you what, would you be willing to bring it to Wetumpka tonight?
Yeah, tomorrow night if I'm around, I can bring it to Wetumpka. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so I can bring it to you. That's not far from me. Yep. I'm not sure. I think it's all about the same. All right, so what we'll do, buddy, is we'll when I get a chance, I'll save your number and I'll call you when I'm in there tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night,
5:30 to 9. So it might be like somewhere near 9 or something like that, towards or earlier. I'll figure it out. I'll let you know because like I said, I'm still over here. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I'll call you back and we'll work it out. All right, buddy. I'll let you go. All right, we'll see. Let me see what time I get back, and maybe I get back earlier. We'll figure it out. All right, buddy. Man, the phone's on stop. Hey, I hear you. I know what you're trying to tell me. Please, bro.
Okay.
Relax. I got that like calling me back to back. Sorry, guys. I know I'm working. I'm multitasking here. I'm doing 3 things at once. Good, okay. Uh-huh. 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 Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Gotcha. Está bien, está bien. Pipo, yo estoy trabajando en este momento y yo tengo para atrás como 20 minutos. Dale. Okay, okay. No, yo tengo para atrás como 20 minutos, okay? Alright. Dude, I'm a busy guy today. Everybody wants me.
What does he want you for? Yeah.
Busy guy today. So we're just driving through the neighborhood streets, guys, showing you guys. But like I said, Alabama, supposedly, and I got another missed call here. Unbelievable.
Another
Supposedly, Alabama, I was going to starve here in Alabama. When I came to Alabama, this looks a little bit nicer up in here. And supposedly, when I came to Alabama, I was going to starve because it's the worst rated state with the worst incomes and you're not going to make any money and blah, blah, blah. Yo, this one's been non-stop today. Usually, I turn the phone off when I do these videos, but I didn't turn it off today because I'm using the map to kind of figure my way through here. So, I take it with a grain of salt. Sometimes, just because I can move to the worst rated state, I mean my life is going to go into chaos. If anything, I'm making more money than I ever made. I'm actually quoting jobs high on purpose so I don't have to do them because I don't have enough time to do all the jobs I get. So, my wheels were rubbing. I'm sorry, buddy. I know, I'm sorry. My wheels are rubbing. It's like an apartment complex. There's a lot of hangout spots here, deep. I guess everybody's family. Probably everybody's family. So since they're all family, it's everybody's family. They kind of have a lot of hangout spots. So I'm gonna guess these are all for big, large families. There's a lot of big hangout spots. These are like projects, I guess, or apartments. But yeah, I mean, just because a place is rated horribly doesn't mean you're gonna do horribly if you're there. Now, if you're from there, that changes everything. You know, but me being an outsider, there's a lot of people hanging out here. Nice white girl with a black guy. Seems like the city doesn't have that tension that you see in other places. Seems like most people are kind of just all the same, the way it should be. Really, we are all the same, but you know, there's a lot of places where if you can get to it tomorrow morning, you have a deal. Okay. I will confirm later on tonight. I'll pay for $100. Well, that's the thing. I would rather not do that job. See, the thing about these jobs is I quote them really high because I don't really want to do them. It's a nice way of saying I don't want to do the job because I really don't. You go and you break your back doing these hard, difficult jobs, and you know, it doesn't matter if it's a $500 job and you're doing an hour, your back's gonna hurt for 3 days. You know what I mean? Your back's gonna hurt for 3 days. And when you do it back-to-back consistency over and over again, eventually you're going to get to the point where by the time you're 50 years old, you're going to end up in a wheelchair. And I like to provide my body, my work, everything I can to society. Give the world the best you can. I believe in that. But you get to a point where you said, okay, I've already given enough. You know, like this job here, you know, $400 to me is like dang, do I really want to do it? But we'll see. I'm really trying to just stick to furniture and like, you know, residential trash outs and trying to stay away from the construction side of it. In Florida, I didn't have an option. In Florida, every job that came, I had to do it. Had to do it. Had to do every single job that came my way. There wasn't optional. All these little neighborhood styles, but they got metal bars in the windows. They got metal bars on all, not all, but like a lot of houses have metal bars in the windows. Yo, the hangout spots are deep here, and this is on a weekday, so it seems like there's a lot of big hangout spots. A lot of people here. Drinking too. I used to remember when my family used to be like that. Those times are long gone. My family used to be just like that. We used to have a show spot in our neighborhood, and we'd be 20, 30 people every day. Cousin, uncle, aunts, everybody would hang out. But those days are long gone, man. We all live in different cities, different states. When we first came to the United States, there's a scrap metal pile over there. When we first came to the United States from Cuba, we used to be like that. We used to have, you know, that family bond. And you can tell these are big families, you know, cousins, everybody hanging out. Just like when we were younger, man. I remember we would all hang out, all the cousins, everybody, but everybody's kind of found their own path now, you know. Unless there's a wedding or something, then we'll finally kind of get together, and it's crazy, man, how far we've drifted from each other as a family. It's like, wow, look at the view from up here. I don't know if you guys can tell, but we're up on a real steep hill, and you can see mountains in all directions. These houses up here, these houses have a view. Look at this. Like, look at the view these people have here in this community. That's incredible. You got their Auburn flag right there. Look at this view. This is just incredible. Incredible view from up here. In one way. What does in one way mean? Was I in a one way? I'm not sure. The thing is, too, this city's old. A lot of old houses, and sometimes old houses cost more money to fix them than what they're. He waved at us, didn't he?
Yeah.
Everybody waves. That's another thing. Like, if people are friendly in small town and family, you know, there's a lot of crime and stuff going on. It kind of makes life more bearable. In some places, people are just miserable. Crip graffiti, that's gang related right there. See that? You see that right there? It said Crip. So gang graffiti is never a plus. What's this guy right here? The hole in the wall. It's actually called the hole in the wall. Is that an alleyway? Yeah, but it is an alleyway, isn't it? It's an alleyway. I'm taking it. The hole in the wall. It's an alleyway. You gotta be careful going through these neighborhoods. You have no idea what's out here. We just saw some gang graffiti. Some gang graffiti. Crip. That's never good for anything, really. But this city has like a Detroit type of feel to it, I guess. Look at these front porches and stuff. That would make a great cover photo. Great cover for like these houses right here. Oh no, my phone's flipping out. All these houses line up. Oh, gosh, I thought we'd get bigger wheels. It would make our car more versatile. And all it's done is make our car like the most. This is the worst thing ever.
Didn't I tell you not to get them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I tell you I'm my own man, do my own thing.
Yep, that's exactly what
It's definitely rough in here though. We're near Blue Mountain. Let's find our way to a different neighborhood. Let's see how 3
Head
minutes
north
long.
on McCoy Avenue toward West 23rd Street, then turn left onto West 23rd Street.
Definitely
Turn
rough.
left onto West 23rd Street.
Roads aren't paved. Ooh, Cadillac. Cadillac, dog.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Cooper Avenue.
We're gonna drive kind of through an area that has very little stuff for a minute here. And we're gonna work our way into another neighborhood just to fill out different neighborhoods. You can definitely tell there's a lot of families here though. That's cool. Lots of families. You can just tell that there's a lot of families, just big get-togethers on a weekday. That's cool stuff, man. Brings me back to a lot of family memories.
Turn left onto Cooper Avenue.
What about that neighborhood when we first came in?
I'm not sure. I was on the south side of the city. We're not nowhere near that. Let me get real quickly out of the way. There's a semi coming.
We should go
In
there.
half a mile, turn right onto West 18th Street.
Alright. Let's go up in here real quick. No passing zone. 23rd Street. Seems like a lot of vacancy, a lot of rundown houses. Again, the city's lost like almost a third of its population or something. So it's gonna have neighborhoods that are just completely run down. There's more houses than there are people at this point. So that's always gonna happen. But with other regions of the country being more dangerous, well, not more, that's statistic, I can't say that. But worst, and as far as their high crime, they're expensive, and then the people are rude and disrespectful. To come here where people are decently and friendly and family, and get out of, supposedly California, like they have like a big city like California or something. This might be a relief either way. Because what's shocking is a lot of people from other places that see these videos. What animal is that right there? A cat?
Over there?
Yeah, what is that? A cat?
That's a squirrel, Jose.
Oh, a squirrel. Okay. I always have people from like New Jersey or California or something. They'll say stuff like, "Oh, this is a walk in the park compared to where I'm from. It looks good compared to where I'm from." I'm like, okay.
Now you go there. Have fun.
But eventually, what could take this place turning around is other parts of the country are just as bad and 3 times as expensive.
Yeah.
So eventually, if like California has a max exodus or Atlanta has a max exodus, eventually it could transform.
Yeah.
So you just never know what's going to happen. Just like a place can depopulate, it can repopulate again too. But it's going to take something happening. It's a shame because some of these houses are beautiful, but if there's no people to live in them, they're going to go to crap. The views are definitely gorgeous. I would rather live here than like in a row house in New Jersey or right?
Yep.
In Camden or something, one of those row houses.
And get a cute brick house.
Yeah, get a little house right here. At least you got a view. At least you got open space. And compared to other parts of the country, or even other countries themselves. That's the other thing. Like it's kind of a. See, he waved at us.
Yeah.
He kind of pushed us off the road, but he wasn't doing it on purpose. Just me and him were both kind of. Neither one of us was paying attention. But he waved. People wave at you. You know what I mean? They're not rude. They're friendly.
Yeah.
And that is a plus anywhere. You can't put that in the statistics. Some people like to live in a place where there's social life, where there's communities and neighbors and people in hangout spots. That's what they're into, So I don't see everything as bad as other people do. Look at the views here.
Oh.
Today's a weekday. You see people over there playing with their families? See that right there? See that people by the park over there? They got a nice mountain background. They're with their family playing, they're playing soccer, I think. The whole family's playing soccer on a weekday. There's 10 people that are hanging out on a weekday. Like it has there's a fiber to the people here. And that is something you don't get everywhere. There's still a sense of community here. You can see it, you know what I mean? You can feel it. Do they have economical hardships? They sure do. They have a lot their town needs to work on. It sure does. But then there's also the other side of the picture, which is what you can't see with statistics. You know what I mean? Quite literally, if you're a person that's not afraid of anything, I bet you can buy a house and a business and start a business here for less than, you got $100,000 cash, you can buy a house, buy a building, and start a business of some sort right here. You could do all that with $100,000 in the city. That wouldn't even be a down payment in a big city. So it's just, what type of mindset do you have? Like, what type of, you know what I mean? Because you can make money out here, believe it or not. Like, that's a lot of people miss. Like a little chicken place that sells like barbecue and like, like a little drive-through, like lemon peppers or something like that, or a little, like a neighborhood, like you cater, just like sell like a soul food, American food. You'd make a killing out here. You cook good. Let's say you got a skill. You cook good. You buy the whole building. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a different type of mindset of people to find potential where other people don't. Because the thing about living in big cities is that there's so many people trying to do the same thing that the competition there's no competition here for business. Like, if you start your own little store, nobody's gonna open up another store in front of you. You know what I mean? So like I said, I don't see as bad of a picture. And I like social. I like a place where I can overlook crime and like, I can overlook all that. Especially if it's irrelevant to me. That's the other thing. Like, sometimes it's people that get caught up in the street stuff. They're the ones that get caught up in it, and then they're the ones that suffer those consequences. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah, they got a little Nashville. That's so cool. I bet we could do another hour-long video on this town. This town's interesting.
Yeah.
For what we do? Like, if you're a photographer or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, look at this place, man.
It's perfect for photography.
Dude. In fact, I'm going to take a picture of my car right in front of this building real quick. I love it. Look at the flowers. I'm going to get you a flower. I'm going to get you a flower. Look at these flowers going right there.
You can get me multiple. Things are going good, and next week we're gonna have fun. We got something special for you coming in the next month, within the month. Something really special for you guys.
Here's a flower for you, my love.
Thank you, baby.
So, while some people who live in another state write an article about the city and say it's garbage, it's high crime, I would live here compared to 1,000 other places. I don't mind. You put it on your hair, that's fine, whatever you want to do with it. Yeah, it's a gift from me to you. You use that gift however you want. I would love to get a photo of my SUV facing the other way in front of these buildings. Looks cool. I wouldn't mind. Like, if you're a young photographer, or dude, there's potential in these communities. It's just, I would overlook if I have a choice. So because I have a choice, I'm gonna get the best things for myself. The more options you have, the more you get the better things. But if I had to pick between living here and like Camden, New Jersey or something, I'd be here in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? In fact, if I was a 9-to-5 worker and I had to pick between living here and maybe, I don't know, working at a body shop in Miami or something, living a little efficiently, I'd probably pick here too. Like, dude, you can literally buy a house in this town for like $20,000. Yeah. With a mountain view. There is potential. It just hasn't been discovered yet.
What were we looking at? Like $50,000, 3 acres, and a livable house?
Yeah. And we would have had $50,000 left over to buy equipment and start a business. We could have, if we had moved here, we got scared because, see, we got scared because of the statistics, but we could have bought a house here. I had to tie my shoe. Tie my shoe while driving. Yeah, I love this. Like, remember, I'm tying my shoe in the middle of a road. That's how little traffic there is here. Tying my shoe in the middle of the road, y'all. You know, so somebody might see this place and say, "This is for me. I can get a house here for $20,000. I can buy a commercial building for, I don't know what the crap, probably nothing, literally. You know? Somebody might see potential in it. At least it's not covered in 6 feet of snow. Somebody might be watching from Pennsylvania right now. Or Ohio. I'm like, dude, this is not covered in 6 feet of snow. The temperature right now says it's 87 on my car. It's probably less. It's probably like in the 60s or 70s. You know what I mean? Like somebody might say that, see that, and say, dude, this is for me. I bet you I could do another hour-long video on this town. This is how interesting the city is. As far as landscapes. It's an interesting place, man. I actually exceeded my expectations as far as like the amount of rundown buildings that are here. I love to come here on a Friday night and just see, like, I'm sure we're missing a lot. There's some housing projects I want to check out. See if I can make it by the end of the video.
In 600 feet, turn right onto Alabama 202 West.
All these abandoned buildings and stuff. This is, but like, I have a junk removal business. To me, I make money off of old dilapidated
Turn right onto
buildings.
Alabama 202 West.
You know what I mean? It's just potential. And then look at this. Great freaking views, man. So while somebody might just see those negative statistics, somebody else might see potential.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Palmetto Avenue.
In fact, somebody living right now, let's say you live in Detroit. You know, like you like the city urban lifestyle, but you don't want to deal with the cold weather. Some projects down there in the hill. This could be like a good alternative for like a Detroit, you know?
Turn
Like you
left onto
want to be in
Avenue.
that affordable, you know, lifestyle with really affordable hangout spots and all that, but you don't want to deal with the cold weather. Crap, man, this will do it for you. This will definitely do it.
1,000 feet, turn left onto West 6th Street.
We got 3 more minutes on this video. We're gonna run up in this housing authority and we're done. Sorry about the crack on my dash, guys. GMC there. That's pretty much what happened.
This is a beautiful drive into wherever we're going.
This is like our neighborhood where it looks pretty naturally, but then you see.
Yeah.
This plan. That's plan. Oh,
Turn
man.
left onto West
Look at
6th
this.
Street, then turn right onto Mulberry Avenue.
Dude, the city does not. We could make another hour-long video on the city.
Let's do it.
I like it. I want to
Let's
explore
cut it off.
I got money to make back home, but I want to stay here and do this.
This is like the most
Interesting town we've been to.
I love the architecture.
Very interesting. There's some projects on here. Check it out.
Turn right onto Mulberry Avenue.
Dude. I love it. Oh, yeah. I was raised in the projects. I stayed down every day and that lost and never found. Look at this house, bro. Look at these houses on the hill.
In 800 feet, turn left
Yo.
onto West 4th Street.
Look at these abandoned. Every last one of them's abandoned, facing the housing projects. So cool, man. Like, every last one of those houses is abandoned. I am a sucker for urban exploration, especially like this. You know, like urban exploration where there's like urban decay. I'm a sucker for it. Like, I've always loved it since I was little. So I'm actually living out my childhood dream with this YouTube channel. So I just want to emphasize, if you watch our
Turn
channel,
left onto West 4th Street, then you'll
that
arrive at
we're
your
actually we're doing our passion here. Like, this is what I wanted to do since I was a kid. Urban exploration, urban photography. So here I am doing what I wanted to do since I was a kid, and I'm making money on it. So if you have a dream, if you have a passion, you can actually be arrived. You can actually make a living doing what you love, regardless of how obsolete your passion is. You know, where it's, you know, maybe it's YouTubing, maybe it's, you know, editing photos, or maybe it's editing videos, or maybe it's whatever the crap your passion is, man. Like, who knows what type of crap you're into. A hobby, a sport. You can go out there and you can live your dream. Like, to me, this right here, exploring these neighborhoods, I love it. It's an odd passion to have. It's not normal, for sure. But here I am making money doing what I love. And I hope that can inspire you to do the same. We're out.